Hello everybody and welcome to another installment of How to Do Everything. Today on the show, BEV KILLICK is going to teach me how to become the face of incontinence. Get on to patreon.com/howtodoeverything if you would like to support the show, and as a result, get yourself a bonus little episode every week in the inbox. Lots of special guests on there. A great archive of content for you to dig into right now, and it helps support the show and keep us going, and is greatly appreciated by me. Today on the show, BEV KILLICK, a legend of the stand-up scene. She was already pretty established when I started doing stand-up when I was a wee lad. I've known Bev forever. You might have seen her at one of the comedy clubs around the country. You might have seen her on the Comedy Festival Roadshow. She pops up on TV all the time. She's been in Deadlock. She's been in Kath and Kim. She is in a bunch of sports bet ads that you may have seen her in, which we will touch on briefly in this chat. She is also the source of so many incredible stories in the comedy industry, which again, we get into. I was pumped to have her on the show. I was rapt that she wanted to do it, and I really, really enjoyed this conversation. So here we go. This is How to Do Everything with BEV KILLICK. We've just been having a riveting health discussion off air.
Yeah. I actually have a hearing aid in, but you can't see it.
Yep.
Can you?
No. That's what you want.
I know.
My dad
I'm forever going to have a bulb.
My dad is, I think, on the cusp of being told that he needs a hearing aid.
Seriously, it's the best thing.
Yeah, he's resistant to it, which I don't get. It's like, it's a thing that I think he's annoyed about the expense of it, which my mum did.
Specsavers have...
okay.
Yeah. They've got a government initiative at the moment.
Right. I think it's one of those things where the doctor tells you the price and they've got their own skin in the game where they're trying to get you to get a specific one.
That's right.
That is a certain price. But Mum was like relaying the price to me, and I'm like, I can't see how there's any reason that they should cost more than AirPods. AirPods should be the most expensive version of it. I know it's medical tech, but I don't think that it should be more expensive than a high-end earphone. It just doesn't make sense to me.
We should be able to just hear.
Yeah.
You know, we need to.
How did you discover that you needed the hearing aid? Because I think this is in my future too, is that like, and I was telling you off air, I went in for the test and I was excited. I wanted the hearing aid. And they were like, no, your hearing's fine. And I was like, I don't see how that's possible. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah.
So, but there is different kinds of hearing loss.
Right.
This one is caused through a disease called Meniere's disease, which I would have had since about 10. Mm-hmm. So it's been in slow decline.
Yeah, okay.
And I always thought that it was from travelling so much on airplanes and being in the business, you know, being too close to speakers or whatever. Mm-hmm. So how it happened, I was cast in a film called Shader, which ended up doing really, really well, by the way. It did.
Good to sneak that in.
No big deal. You know, audience won the audience award at Sundance. So
great. Awesome.
I mean, hello.
Yep.
Anyway, it's based on a true story of survival. It's absolutely incredible. Anyway, it was shot during COVID.
Yep.
So we had to wear the director had to wear masks. We didn't on set. We just had tests, and I could not hear her saying action, right? And I couldn't hear a lot of things. I think everyone was getting just a bit kind of annoyed with me.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to get the first AD to go like this, right? Or poke me, go. Mm-hmm. And it was just really interfering with me.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, Noura said, Bev, please go and see my mum, Shader, who the film is about.
Yep.
She is an audiologist.
Okay.
So I went and saw her, and she gave me for cost price, which is amazing.
Hell yeah.
For my significance in the film, you know. And I put them on for the first time on set, and I could not believe that that's what everyone was hearing.
Right, yes.
I'm like, am I meant to be? What? No.
I get very emotional when I see those like videos of people who are like deaf and they like do the implant and they like lose their minds. I'm like, I feel like that's going to be me one day.
Well, Kirsty Weeback can probably attest to my first ever stand-up with the Terry North gig out in the sticks.
Sure.
And it was only a small crowd of about 30. Anyway, I went, right, this is the day. This is the night. I'm going to put my hearing aids in and see if I can, get some better interaction with the crowd. I could not believe how much they were laughing.
I'm so much better at comedy than I thought all these years. My self-esteem's through the roof.
Tommy, it was just like, what the fuck?
I've never thought about it in those terms of like coming away being like, oh my God, I'm like 20% better at comedy than I ever thought.
I could not believe it. I mean, I'd see people going,
all those sleepless nights where I've been like, I got to get better. No, I just got to get my hearing tested.
Or that's why my punch had to be really good all the time, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking on some routines, geez, they're really not getting those, those bits along the way, but they were.
But I would imagine you're similar to me because I'll even just editing this back, I'll be like, and like my partner will say to me all the time, she's like, you're shouting. Why are you shouting? And I'm like, oh, am I? Like, I have no idea. I have no idea.
We are both very shouty people.
Yeah.
But that's probably,
I have friends.
Are you a middle child?
I'm an only child, of course.
So you didn't have to.
So technically, yes, I'm all of them. I'm eldest, I'm youngest, I'm middle. I'm kind of all of the worst
You've
bits
got
of
all the problems.
All of them rolled into one.
Isn't that funny?
Because I have like, my friends have to, like what you're saying on set, my friends have to do a lot of regulating of me where I'll be like, when we're meeting up, I'll be like, let's go to this bar. And then we get to the bar and there's a bit of background noise. And then my friends will run interference immediately and be like, we cannot stay here. I know that you cannot hear a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sitting here with you for the next hour having to repeat everything I say with you looking at me blankly because you can't fucking hear anything.
I know.
And so it is that thing of like not just wanting to make your own life better, but when you realize like, oh, I'm a burden to everyone around me.
I reckon you should get hearing aids just for that then, Tommy.
Yeah.
Because you can do, I've got it on my iPhone, I've got conversational noise.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And in conversation it's called, and then it wipes out the background noise.
Yeah, that's definitely what I need.
So
I am.
You can go and get yourself some hearing aids, love. You can join the club.
I am getting to that era of life where we were just talking about this off air as well. Like I went in recently to get a blood test, some blood tests done for like one thing, and then I got an email from my doctor, and I haven't gone in for this follow-up yet, but he basically was like, in terms of the thing you went in for, that's all fine, but there's a bunch of other stuff here that's a little concerning. So I'd like to see you about this. And I felt, I felt really violated. I was like, hang on, this wasn't part of the deal.
Yeah.
You were meant to be using the blood to look for this, not getting in there and finding out a bunch of other bullshit about how I've been living my life wrong. Not yet. This only happened like the other day.
Tommy?
Yeah. What?
What do you think it could be?
I don't know. I do feel like I'm 40.
Did you have sex without condoms in the 80s?
Well, I was 4 at the end of the 80s, so I hope not. I mean, I don't remember, but yeah, I hope not. No, I'm 40 next year, and I really reckon I'm on the cusp of getting some hard truths about how I live my life in terms of diet and all the rest of it. I reckon the hammer's about to come down of like,
don't be too
cholesterol levels and all that. I reckon all that sort of shit is going to come knocking at the door.
It's
and like
strange, I just live in some kind of oblivion.
Yeah.
There'll be some days where I'm so achy and I'm so in pain, but I just can't stop. I'm just like a little, I don't know. I'm a Duracell bunny. I'll
be shocked if I make it to the grave without getting gout. Once I found out what gout is, which is comedian Carl Kinane describes it as like if you just basically live your life exactly how you want, then you will get gout. It's King's disease. Like
it is
lots
awful.
of butter, lots of fats, lots of salt. I feel a little twinge in one of the toes, and I'm like, I've heard that's one of the first signs of it.
Amazing.
That's coming for me.
My husband has had all these different ailments and things going on, and he's the production manager and tour manager for Ross Noble. Mm-hmm. And Ross needed to get fitter. Yep. After lockdown and whatever, and Tony just said, "Well, I'll go in with you."
Right.
So this has been like 4 years or whatever, And the two of them are so fit.
That's what you need is like, because
Swimming,
I'll get into a
running.
good routine and then it's like being on the road for a week just fucking undoes all of it. I
Yeah.
had a period in my life where I was like hitting the smoothies and the juices pretty hard, and I was contemplating. I really should have done this. I was contemplating being a blender in the suitcase guy. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to bring this thing on the road with me.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That is the only way to keep this consistent. Because then you get there and you're like, well, there's a burrito next door and it's that,
Yeah,
or like
that's
an
it.
hour walk to get something healthy. So I guess
Yeah.
I'll just just this constant wave of like getting a bit of momentum with fitness and
Yeah.
exercise and health, and then just undoing all of it.
Exactly. I was a yoga junkie for years and such a health nut.
Yeah.
And I even worked in a health food shop. Mm-hmm. And my fridge was pretty much mung beans and alfalfa sprouts. And
Yep.
all of that. And then comedy changed all that.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle change, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's very hard to be healthy in this game.
I'll go to the gym and they'll be like, I haven't seen you here for a bit. And I'm like, yeah, I've been away. And they're like, where have you been? And I'm like, well, I did this, weekend in Brisbane. And they're like, well, so that's 2 of the days. What about the rest of the month? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I just got home and got lazy and just undid it all in 48 hours and then couldn't be fucked coming back in.
That's it.
You're
But when
also,
you can order stuff online, so
yeah,
easily
exactly.
too.
You're getting to live the dream at the moment though of giving up the smokes and hitting the vape and being like that.
Yeah.
That easy transition into being like it's nice that there's a thing that is like a little leapfrog off of the main thing.
That's right.
That's not necessarily like good for you, but it's a real baby steps thing of like I'm still getting that hit, but I'm getting the good feeling of being like
that's it.
slightly healthier.
I had a vape sitting there ready to go.
Yeah.
And thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
My friend, the vape. It's pretty bad.
Had you smoked your whole life before
since I was 13?
Before
So
the vape? Yeah.
40 years I'd smoked.
Wow.
40.
Yeah.
And comedy, I mean, that's when I got really bad.
Yeah.
And drinking as well. I don't tend to drink so much now, Tommy.
Yeah.
Which is great.
No one drinks at the gigs anymore, which is, I think, good.
When they have to pay for them, they don't.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but everyone's too focused on it being a career and being like,
it's
people
interesting, isn't it?
People take it seriously, yeah.
Yeah, whereas, back at Espy days on a Sunday, we'd just, be getting tinnies out of the bin all day long.
Yeah, because I don't generally tend to go to like inside baseball comedy history with people on this show, but like, when did you start doing stand up?
It would have been like, I didn't start professionally until around 2000.
Okay.
So it was a fairly long road.
Yep.
And I was a sole parent.
Yep.
As well, so it was, there was a degree of difficulty with it, but
Yep.
I pretty much gave up the day job around 2000.
Okay, sure. So, because you were like, I would say there's something about your style that I've always wondered. Like, I get the sense that like your style comes obviously like a lot from your personality, but how much of that also was like you feeling when you started out like you had to like really stand out from the other people that were around?
I think it was from being a woman.
Right.
Because 25 plus years ago, there wasn't many women in comedy, and there was that awful adage, women aren't funny and all that, and you had to really prove yourself. As much as there was a lot of women feature females, there just wasn't a lot of women in clubs, pubs, sporting organisations, and so I suppose I had to stand out for that reason. I had to be good.
Yeah, that's always the impression I've gotten is that it wasn't just that you had to have like the great material, like you had to really, you had to like prove yourself the moment you stepped onto the stage, so much more than any man would have to.
That's it. And I think that's where it kind of started. That sort of premise has dwindled with me now because I've got my foot in the door.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was coming out all guns blazing, singing, caricatures, characters. Mm-hmm. I still do a bit of that, but I think I'm more of an entertainer than a stand-up,
right?
Per se, I don't know what I am. I can't define it.
I've kind of always gotten the impression, and maybe you can correct me on this, but the gigs were a lot like maybe like rougher back then, or like certainly more of a spread of like. I feel like people who come to comedy now, like we're in this era where people are quite savvy. People have probably watched or have like way more experience with stand up before they come to it live. Whereas back then you might have seen, I don't know, a set on Hey Hey or a set on the Footy Show or whatever, but there wasn't this like literacy of people knowing like what styles of comedy they like, and it was more of like a boozy pub kind of.
And you had to yell to be heard.
Yep.
You had to really do something outrageous.
And because you're deaf.
Yeah, exactly. Little did I know, but also that shock factor. You know, I was doing a lot of stuff that was really shocking and really dirty.
Yeah.
You know, and that was to get their attention
Jolt
somehow.
them, yeah.
Yeah. And I was over physicalizing, and I don't know. I think I'd got a lot of my precedence of how to be funny for me personally from growing up in North Queensland.
Yeah, right.
From working in theatres up there. I worked in theatre restaurant and all that sort of stuff.
What sort of stuff were you doing at the theatre restaurant?
It was songs and sketches.
Right. Can you remember any of the specific shows? Were you doing any kind of like...
There was one called Wacko You Beauty.
Wacko is a person's name?
Wacko You Beauty.
Or is that like
No, it's just as in an Aussie. Wacko You Beauty.
Okay, right.
It was just...
I'm upset.
And I was only 18 when I started there.
Yeah, so. Right. Every time I drive past Witches in Britches, they've always got some incredible new looking spoof theatre restaurant show on that I'm always saying to my friends, like, I'll take a photo and be like, we got to go to this. And they're sick of hearing it now. They're like, you say this every year when you drive past it and you see the new one. Just fucking book the tickets and we'll make it happen. They had one recently that was like...
was really popular.
Yeah. Dracula's like... Heaps of comedians like worked there, like Stephen Gates from Tripod worked
Fiona
there.
McGarry.
Yeah. The theatre restaurant to stand up comedy pipeline. It's a shrinking industry that it's hard to imagine anyone who's 19 now being like, I'm going to go work at a theatre restaurant.
I know,
like it just doesn't seem like it has that. It was the TikTok of its day.
This was a really, it had such a big following in Townsville.
Right.
By these gorgeous men, Mel and Lyle, who have both passed now, and they took me under their wing, and I was like their little daughter that they'd never had. Gay men, and they just adored me. I had my own room at their place, you know, and when they moved from Townsville to the Gold Coast, they gave me all these costumes, box loads turned up, and shoes and makeup and wigs and
in a town like that, doing a theatre restaurant show in that era, were you like getting recognised outside of the theatre restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine it's like that, like real
fish.
Local celebrity. Yeah, absolutely.
Big fish, small pond.
Yeah.
And I was studying performing arts at JCU under Jean-Pierre Vos, and it was very avant-garde sort of European style theatre.
Yep.
You know, unreal, like getting nude and, you know, really trippy, and then going to work at this theatre restaurant at night. And all my fellow actors at this at Performing Arts College, they were just like turning their nose up at it, you know. And Jean-Pierre just went, no, we're going to go and support Beverly. So they all turned up. There was like 25 from the course.
Yep.
In different years came, and they loved it.
I bet.
And they stood up and howled, you know. They loved it.
There's something about
they didn't realise I could sing.
Yeah. There's something about the like avant-garde theatre teacher in a smaller community that I reckon is like so much more hardcore than the version of it that you would get in the bigger city, even though you would maybe consider it to be like a more like cosmopolitan or artsy place to learn that kind of stuff. I reckon going like further out is where you get the real like the diesel version of it.
Yeah. And there was a lot of Melbourne and Sydney actors that came to Townsville to do this particular course.
Yeah, right.
And Richard Moore was one of my teachers who was head of ABC for many, many years, television.
Yep.
It was the most incredible course. And again, like Jean-Pierre, I was only 18. Jean-Pierre, also a gay man, took me right under his wing and looked after me. And I used to go over to his place for dinner and, you know, I was really sorted by with the Poofs loved me. in Townsville. And Mum used to make drag queens
Yeah.
clothing because she was the seamstress, and I'd do their makeup, and we had it going on.
So you're doing that. You're studying the theatre. You're working in the theatre restaurant, and then how long are you doing that before you move to Melbourne and decide?
2 years.
What was the link into deciding to start stand up?
Well, all these gorgeous gay men started talking to each other, and one of them spoke to Martin Bedford, who has Bedford and Pierce, which is a huge agency in Sydney.
Right.
And so I got on their books. I was managed by Bedford and Pierce.
Right.
Also managing Russell Crowe.
There's something about, I feel like in a lot of ways it's like easy for people now starting out in any kind of showbiz industry. Like people would say it's easier because you just put a video online and it's like it's all that simple, all of the tools, but
or just YouTube. If you want to get a series up, just start on YouTube.
But there just also is something to me that seems so beautiful about the industry. Like back when you're talking about, like, I don't know if you've seen or know much about the story of John Clark. So there's a documentary out about him now that his daughter made. And when he got massive in New Zealand, it's because he just walked into the local TV station and said, "Can I do a show?" And they went, "Okay." And there was one TV channel in New Zealand.
Right.
So by virtue of being on air, just everyone in the country knew who he was.
Wow.
It's
Isn't
like,
that fabulous?
it's things like that kind of paint it as being easier back then.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you saying...
I was in a lot of ads in Townsville.
Just you saying like, I was working at a theatre restaurant and then someone put me up at a management firm and then I'd sign with them. It's like, that doesn't happen now.
It's unreal. But I mean, some of the people that used to come to Townsville and stay with Mel and Noel, there was Stuart Wagstaff. Do you know who he is?
No, sorry.
A lot of these older players, you know. And I got to meet so many people.
Yeah.
The guy who played Catweasel. What's his name? Anyway, but I didn't know who they were, you know.
This, by the way, you could be making up all of these names. You'll leave and I'll
John
Google
Pertwee.
Catweasel and just nothing will come up.
John Pertwee I met as well.
Okay, yeah.
Stuart Wagstaff.
And these are all like what, the big theatre guys of the day?
Big theatre, and they were also on television later on.
Sure.
Yeah, big TV stars.
Yeah, cool. So you're... Because again, like there's something that I would say kind of even where... So I started doing stand-up when I was at high school in like 2003. And I would say even then it was still a bit of something that you would just do for the fuck of it because you were kind of compelled to like want to do it because you're an attention seeker.
Yeah, that's it.
I think now there is like... Not obviously anyone who does it still has that sort of... I would say mental illness about them where they like need to be up on a stage. But you can get into it going like, I don't think there's as much things of like people's parents now being like, what are you doing? I don't understand the merit in this.
Yeah,
like
that's
there's
it.
way more of a pipeline of like, well, I can have a business plan of how to put videos out and how to cultivate
it's
an
amazing,
audience.
Isn't
like
it?
There was like like people of like a different era where it's just freaks that are just doing it for the sake of it because it's just you don't feel
There's
like...
not as many challenges, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, things like podcasts and, you know, there's so many ways that you can represent yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be on stage.
Right.
You know, you might also want to be a cartoonist or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A funny cooking show or it doesn't matter. You know, you can just bring it all into being.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I must say I have done the hard yards.
Of course.
And I'm very proud of myself for sort of still remaining. But it's so much easier now.
Yeah,
so much easier.
Yeah. Well, this killed me the other day. You were in an ad recently with Alex Volkanovski.
Yeah.
The UFC fighter. He's got like, what is it, like tens of millions of followers on Instagram. And he shared an ad for your show that you have coming up at Comedy Republic.
Isn't that cute?
A venue that seats like 100 people. And that's just gone out to like millions of his followers.
We get along really, really well. And I seriously still have no idea of how famous he is.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't think like 5 years ago I ever would have predicted these are two people that'll end up in something together and have a friendship and he can be a massive fan who's promoting at shows.
He is so lovely. We get along so well. We really have a good giggle.
Yeah. I love the idea that you walk out to that show and it's just all these like fucking roided up UFC heads who are like ready for blood. They think he's promoting it because it's a fight.
I know. But he's going, go and see my neighbour Beverly.
Yeah.
Let's go and heckle her. Actually, no, don't.
Don't heckle her. She'll destroy you.
But yeah.
But no, you definitely have done the hard yards. And I think especially too, like starting in that, like that era that you started in, because I didn't know this until recently. Someone was telling me that you met your husband, Tony. He was the lighting guy at the Espy. And so you come on stage one night and he's like, what's all this about?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I know, right? It just started really slowly. There was like 3 years where it was just, because he was with someone.
Right.
And I was kind of on and off,
Yep.
mucking around. Mm-hmm. But there was definitely this thing between us. And it was Trevor at the Espy that noticed it and he was just like, right. So on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, Trev would say, let's go to Munro's and we'll have some oysters and a Cosmopolitan.
Yep.
We were thinking we were being so cool, right? So every Tuesday we'd have oysters. Mm-hmm. It was so nice. And every Tuesday, Tony would drop me home in his massive Bedford truck.
Yep.
And I would just get out and go, bye. And he would never sort of instigate coming in or anything,
Yep.
It was just bizarre. It was so cute.
Yeah.
And then one day I just went, right, I've had enough of this. Obviously, we really like each other a lot.
Yep.
So
I'm noticing the lights are a little bit brighter when I'm out there on stage.
He gave me great lights. Yeah. And would laugh himself silly at everything I did, right? And plus I was the MC for the White Gloves Film Festival.
Yep.
And he thought, his whole family are film buffs. Mm-hmm. So he just thought that was the best, Anyway, one day I go down there with my best friend and I said, look, there's this guy, I think he likes me and I really like him. But I reckon I'm going to ask him out on a date.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say on stage.
No. And I'm going to give him a 10-day window. So I've asked the other comedians, what do you think? And they went, yep, we're going to be standing here.
10 days is so generous as an ultimatum. That's a lot of time to decide whether or not you want to go on a date.
So I've got all these comedians behind me, backing me up, and my bestie, who's same height as me, cute as a button. And we're both in our sort of hippie kind of, And then Tony comes walking down the lane and I said, Tony, you have a 10-day window where you can take me on a date. And he's like, what?
It's like something you get from the taxation office.
I don't know why I came up with this. And I said, but I want dinner, I want dancing, I want cocktails, I want a moonlit walk down the beach. Yeah. I want everything.
I love this.
And he went, okay. And then he turned around and walked into the wall. Mm-hmm. And my friend said, I think he likes you. He actually walked into the wall.
That's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
But anyway, we've been together ever since.
And at 11:59 p.m. on day 9, he finally came back to you and said, I'm happy to meet the demands.
That's it. It's actually...
How long did it take him?
On the 9th day.
He did leave it until on the 10th. He let you sweat.
At 11 o'clock down at the Vineyard. Yeah. Because I was hosting a show on Channel V. Mm-hmm. And we were going around all the different comedy clubs. Yep. And we were playing this one game of Trouble. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and he knew that I was filming down there. So he came down at 11 o'clock.
Mysteriously appear there.
No, he had an overnight bag.
Wow. Brazen.
I know.
I remember I met a girl when I was single. This is a long time ago. This is over 15 years ago. I met this girl. I actually met her flyering at the comedy festival. She was working for someone, and we got on really well, and I never asked her out or anything. And then she'd told me where she worked. She worked at a supermarket in St Kilda. And months later, I hadn't gotten her number or anything, and I was just thinking about her, and I was like, I'm just going to go. I'm going to turn up to the supermarket and like ask her out. And I got the tram there from where I lived at the time. It took me fucking ages. And I got there and I was just walking around the supermarket and couldn't see her. And I was like, yeah, how did I think this was going to go? And not only that, I think she just said she worked at a supermarket in St Kilda. So I just went into like the first one that I saw, and then I realized like, well, there's obviously more than one in the suburb. So I'm like spending the day going around looking, just hoping to find this woman somewhere in this supermarket in St Kilda.
Oh no.
And then being like, couldn't find her, didn't see her anywhere. And then just had to get this 45-minute tram back home, just feeling so stupid. And in my head on the way there thinking, this is so romantic. Like, what woman wouldn't love a strange man turning up to her workplace to ask her out?
And you could have got some of those cheap $5 bunch of Woolies flowers.
Right. Right. Do you get a staff discount, by the way? Can I like pay you for these and then give them to you?
But
it's like the number of things that you do.
I stalked someone once. But we
Can you talk about this on the record, or is the is the court case still ongoing?
But this is back when was stalking a thing? I don't know. I mean, that could be considered stalking in the supermarket.
This is the thing. I always used to get annoyed when people would use the term like Facebook stalking, like when they would go, and what all they would mean is they just looked the person up on Facebook, and it's like stalking is an actual thing that is like deeply, the person has something psychologically wrong and causes a lot of distress for the, just sort of being like,
tell the story.
Just being like, I know where this, just being like, I wanted to surprise this person or whatever. Like, I wouldn't say that.
Okay,
stalking.
this is the story.
Yeah.
There was this guy that I kept seeing because I used to work in the towns, in the mall, in the jewellers. Mm-hmm. And I just kept seeing him around. And then I noticed that he was going on this particular bus, right? So I got on his bus and basically followed him to where he got off.
Yeah, now technically stalking, I think, at this point.
And
did anything happen?
Yes. I said, I'm so sorry. I've just followed you.
Yes.
You're Tim, aren't you? And he said, yes, I am. Really, really tall guy, 6'7". Mm-hmm. Anyway, he said, oh, that's kind of cute. And he said, what are you doing now? And I said, I don't know. I'll probably have to just get the bus and go back again. He said, no, don't be silly.
Mission accomplished.
Come in and to my place.
Yep.
Anyway, his mum ended up putting on dinner, met his little brother, Robin, and we went out for a couple of years.
Great. Well, see, that was going to be my point, was that so much of like early courting is rolling the dice on something that is, if the person is into it, quite cute, and if they're not into it, borderline psychotic behaviour. Like Tony turning up with the overnight bag.
I know.
If you hadn't have been into him, that is a story that you would still be telling. Like, can you believe this fucking presumptuous loser turning up with the overnight bag?
I thought it was hilarious.
But because you're already into him, you're like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, there are so many moves early on where you
not leave after that night. It wasn't overnight. We had been together since that night.
Yeah. Wow.
But back to the story with Tim. Oh, my God.
Yes.
So this guy is absolutely gorgeous looking, right? Really tall, 6'7". Can you imagine, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we're going out. I don't think it was 2 years, but anyway, it was a fair length of time. My brother absolutely adored him. This guy was singing guitarist and my brother, bass guitarist. Mm-hmm. They ended up forming a band together. My brother just adored him, right?
Yeah.
And so when I split up, they were still friends, and I wasn't. Anyway, he went on to be in a band that became quite well known called Scream Feeder.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And so
he's the guy that you followed on the bus.
From
that's
Scream
Tim. Feeder. That is great.
Tim Stewart.
That is the dream. That is the dream. Everyone, you want your ex to be someone of note. I got to say, that is the nice thing about doing stand-up and doing anything that is in any way public-facing, where, like, I had a relationship end once and then months after the fact, my ex messaged me and was like, yeah, I was just in the bathroom at uni and there's like a poster in here for a gig that you're doing, and, you know, it's just like, and she had ended it and it had been quite heartbreaking for me. And she's like, yeah, you know, I'm just trying to move on. And it's like, yeah, I just was out and saw this poster of you.
Yeah, right.
And in my head, I was like,
there is always something there to remind me.
I was like, I win.
Ah,
It is
yeah.
nice to know that if someone wants to fully escape you, you are always going to be, there's always potentially going to be the risk of like something at a bar where you're doing something, or a reel of a something that you're in. It's nice to know that you're just able to haunt your exes in some capacity.
Or the bullies from school.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of kids that I went to school with in high school. There was the 40th high school reunion.
Yep.
And they all really wanted me to go, and I'm just like, you were an asshole. You were a bully. You did this. You did that.
Yep.
The only reason I would have gone would be to sort of, I don't know, rub it in. Apparently, I'm one of the biggest exports from the.
That's it, though. You want to turn up and you want to rub it in, but the risk that you turn up and they're like, so what have you been doing with yourself? You're like, oh.
No, but there are some genuinely good people that I love and adore, but there was a couple of bullies that there's no way I want to see them.
Oh, I mean, that you have to assume that anyone that bullied you at school, they'd be following Alex Volkanovski. You know, that might be the ultimate
Wouldn't
one.
that just be like
massive celebrity UFC? That is the sort of person that there would be a lot of high school bullies following, and they would have seen that pop up and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but my character as Beverly the Neighbours, she's pretty rotten.
Yeah, but even just him sharing the post of your show, like just even seeing that, like, you guys are mates now.
I couldn't believe
guarantee
it.
there's at least one person from your past that was driven insane by seeing that.
Really?
I reckon. Yeah, surely. He's big enough.
See, I don't even realise how famous he is.
Yeah.
Again, we've come back to this.
Well, it's also, you're not thinking about life in those terms of like explicitly just wanting to make people from your past jealous. Maybe that's the real difference, is like I'm fixating on stuff like that. Because, yeah, I mean, as you say, like you've you've worked incredibly hard to have the career that you've had. I would consider you to be a legend, and I hope that that's
really.
I hope that you take that
I
complimentarily.
always thought that your genre and your style of comedians and those that you hang with would have just thought I was some kind of, I don't know, bit of a dag.
No way. I mean, I think especially as you get older and you do this longer, just anyone who's like done it this length of time and had as much success and is able to kill in so many different formats, and like I would say you at the moment, like you are having this real like renaissance where you're popping up in all these different things and different venues, and like you can't.
And I'm in Deadlock.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't do those kinds of things without having the skills.
Yes.
But I'm glad that you take that as a compliment, because I was thinking about how to phrase that, because I always think about this story of two people that we know, someone who's like a bit older and then someone who's more around my age. The person who's roughly my age was hosting a gig and brought this person on and introduced them as a stalwart. And as they were crossing paths, like this other person to get to the mic, he leant into his ear and went, "If you ever fucking call me a stalwart again." He's like, I mean, I meant it. You know, it's you're a legend. You've been around forever, and you're still doing it, and you're still great. But this like some people hear that and they think, you know, their brain just goes, it's that negative fixation. Their brain goes to over the hill, this is like a young guy, veteran, all that kind of stuff. But it's like, it's a compliment. It's a compliment to still be here doing what we do and making a living from it.
I could be in a car with Tommy Daslow and, need to go to the toilet and ask to stop for a squat.
Yes. I remember that. Yeah, of course. That was, I mean, I felt like, that was like, that was like if that your reputation preceded you in that manner. Put it that way. Like when we were on that car trip, I was like, if there's not some form of, because I don't know that I know of anyone else inside or outside of comedy, maybe even the whole world, that has as many soiling themselves stories as you do.
I'm actually thinking, I should do a podcast and it's just we stories.
Yeah. And then you were for a little, I don't know if you still are, you were the face of Incontinence Australia.
Continence Australia.
Which is a bit like Brett Blake getting to currently host for the Nitro Circus. It's
unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's just like...
something that you're passionate about and they want you as the face of it.
Unbelievable. And that was 2 years running.
Yeah.
I did that. And, I'm fixed since then because I had to do the work as well. So there's not as many weird stories.
Was that a line on the fence thing of like, well, I mean, if I continue to be incontinent, I'm going to keep getting work out of these people, but maybe it looks bad for their product if, if I can't
But interestingly,
put my money where my mouth is.
when they were looking for someone, they wanted someone around my age that was interesting and funny and good with people. Right? And they asked... There were 10 people that actually put me forward. 10.
That really says something,
Susan Provan was one of them. I'm like, what? She goes, oh yeah, all those stories of me weeing in the
Could I do the gala instead, maybe? Or if you got the power to put me up for things, I mean, the Incontinence ad is great, but
isn't that funny?
It's something else I'd love to do.
They never consider me in the gala. It's like, why? I've never been able to work that out. It's like, up front, you can go there and you can do a bit of this and you can do Frocking Hilarious and you can do all these other galas in the world. But, the Melbourne, the Comedy Festival, the gala, Bev, it just doesn't work.
Well, hey, maybe.
How is she going to go in front of so many people?
Could still happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's
get Volk to make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. I think Susan Provan's really taken an ear from Alex Volkanovski. I think they're in direct conversation about booking. But I don't know.
I'm just not the right fit, maybe, or it's been so long that it would be embarrassing for me to be on it now.
But you can't. I mean, that's the tough thing, right? Is that you have things that you want to do in your career and they don't happen for whatever reason, and things that are like not entirely up to you, and you can drive yourself crazy sitting around being like, why hasn't this happened yet? But at the end of the day, it's like it's easier said than done. But
that's it.
The things that are truly out of your control, it's like, well, what do? You just got to plow on.
And someone told me this once: the best form of revenge, and this came up for you a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
The best form of revenge is success.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Totally. Yeah.
And not that you want to be, strive to be successful to fuck everyone up. But it's interesting how that does happen.
Yeah.
Where, I don't know. I mean, I know this might sound corny, but I've never been in it for fame. So I think that's when fame does happen to me here and there, I'm the last to know.
I guess you're right. I mean, I
don't even understand it.
It's such a common thing for comedians to have had some form of bullying at school, right? And it's such a common thing to think like, I'll do this because then that'll show them.
Yeah.
Then that'll show them.
Yeah.
And I think the minute that you're thinking about only wanting something in those terms for those reasons, it's that I often catch myself thinking like, wanting to do something because it's kind of fueled by negativity, and you've got to catch yourself and be like, if I'm imbuing what I'm doing with that energy and that sentiment, then the whole thing is just going to reek of that. You've got to be doing it just because you want to do it, because you want to bring
that's where
happiness and positivity to the world, right?
Yeah, and that's where you sing. That's where your soul sings.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
Well, if I had to, there's a few things from the questionnaire that I could do, and I know that I could do them well. But I just love this game. And now that I'm getting more into the acting side of things, which is where I kind of started, I'm all the way, back at that now.
And everything happens for a reason. I was going to, you sort of briefly touched on this before. I was going to say there's legendary story about you urinating out the front of the Hi-Fi bar.
Yeah.
How could you ever have imagined in that moment that might lead to an ad campaign for Incontinence? There would have been no part of your brain going like, this is going to lead to work down the line.
But not only that, Kate McClelland had my character in Deadlock in a yellow raincoat. And I'm going, why? She goes, Bev, this is all based on the weeing at the front of the Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
Because they were giving away raincoats, MICF ones or something, or Herald Sun or something.
Yep.
So I'm in one, and there's comedians either side of me holding it up so that I don't pee all over myself. And she's walked past, and I've just gone, "Hi, Kate," like that, and like there's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And she said she's never forgotten it, ever. And she's put my character in a yellow rain jacket.
I feel like that story may have had the most rapid travel around the industry of any gossip. I reckon I heard that story. I reckon I heard that story before most of the piss had even finished hitting the ground, honestly.
Are you kidding me? It's that well known.
It's legendary. It's awesome.
That is so funny. I did not know that.
You were in the street.
Yeah. And you been in those toilets at the Hi-Fi?
Yeah. They're rank. Yeah, they're no good. Yeah. I don't blame you. The street's the better place for it.
I really do. I love a squat.
Were you when there was that big movement a little while ago? Remember they started trying to wheel them out at like music festivals. What are they called? The Shiwi. What is it? It's like a cardboard roll so that you can.
It's like a
pee
funnel.
Standing up.
It's a funnel, and you put everything.
Yeah, and the whole idea was to like alleviate the lines at the toilets at music festivals, be able to move people straight along. And never really be able to get them to take off.
No.
Didn't really feel like women were too interested in.
No. Although I do it.
I was talking about
my next campaign.
Yeah. This came up recently with my partner and some of our friends. Like there's a group of all girls and me, and they were all like, "I'd rather wait in the line than use this fucking."
No, but sometimes you can't.
Cardboard tube.
I was at I actually went to my first ever grand final football game.
Okay.
From I work with Sportsbet on a few different characters, and I'm one where I'm my menopause brain selling lollies and pies and things. What's that called? Canteen.
What? Oh, the canteen. I was like,
she's a yeah.
You say you've got menopause brain. I've got no excuse. I just don't know what it's called. I'm just stupid.
Anyway, so I have this character, the canteen lady, and she is rotten. She is a sweary monster.
Yep.
Right. Anyway, so I'm doing that, and it's grand final day, and it's in the September Club.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. Anyway, they gave me tickets for the grand final.
Yep.
And it's right in this like members area and the whole bit, right? And I have no idea how huge this is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why is the ball all the way over there? And I couldn't figure it out. I've never been to a game.
Doesn't that drives people crazy when you get to do something that you're like excited to do because it's cool, but the actual thing that it's for, you could sort of give or take. Like someone that I know who I know is not interested in music at all, posted that they were in a corporate box for the Oasis concert. And I didn't care about this, but I was just looking at it going, I know that there's someone that you know that would see this.
That's right.
That would be driven insane.
That's right. And I think there was a few people that were with me, but because I'm just like, why, how, who's that? And here I am socialising with all these famous footballers, and I have zero clue who they are.
Right.
And people are like, Bev, that's blah, blah, blah. I go,
I don't care. Yeah.
Anyway, so I have to go to the loo, and I'm standing there in line, and and I'm now not incontinent, like I can hold my wee, right?
Yeah.
But there's a woman who's just like, like this. I went, don't worry, I'll sort you out. I mean, excuse me, ladies, this woman really needs to get to the top of the line.
Yeah.
She's absolutely busting. Does anyone mind? And they're like, no. So I've walked her up to the top of the line and go, there you go. And then this woman turns to me and she goes, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? Weren't you in Jack Irish or something like that? I went, yeah. And she goes, and this other woman goes, hey, and weren't you in that
this is
Mars
beautiful.
Bar Ride? I went, yeah. I went, actually, weren't you in? I went, yes. And then I started singing a song in the line. And it was so much fun. And by the time we'd left, they were all like, oh, we're going to miss you. And I'm going, bye, I'm going to my corporate box. Or
You're
whatever.
the incontinence guardian angel for people.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, I sat down for another few minutes, and then it was half time. And I went, you know what? I really don't get this. I'm going to go. because I knew that there was still food back at the September Club.
Yep.
And there was places to wee.
Yep.
There was booze.
Yep.
I could vape freely.
Yeah.
So I've gone back there, and there's a guy sitting there who's one of the team, and I just went, "Do you want to go to the grand final?" And he went, "Oh my God, yes."
Yeah.
Like he was like, this was a dream come true.
This meant a lot to him. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So someone else gave him another pass that he needed to get in. I gave him my ticket, and off he went. And then he sat next to the other sports bet actors.
Mm-hmm.
And they said he was out of control, screaming, yelling, so excited. I'm like, oh, thank God.
That's great. Yeah.
Someone could really appreciate it. And I
Yep.
got my 2 minutes on tape saying, "This is my first time."
Yep.
You know.
And you got to give those people in the line at the toilet an experience that they will
that's
never
it.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad that we haven't spent enough or any time on the questionnaire, because I know it was quite an ordeal for you to open it on your phone and fill
I'm
it
a
out.
Luddite.
No, it's fair. Tell me about because something. It's funny overdoing
I
this
need
for.
to have a puff.
Huh? No, go for it.
Can I?
Yeah, of course.
What are the listeners, what are the viewers going to think?
Well, I don't know. They'll either think it's cool, or they won't know that anything's happening, or
It's just not just the youth that have a problem, you know.
what flavour are you rocking? That's what I want to know.
It's a blue raz ice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it good?
I get it cheap
Did you?
from my
Is it good? I get it cheap.
my Ukrainian ladies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about because doing the show for nearly a year now, the thing that it's funny, like noticing the overlap of various different things that comedians are all not good at, and
Right.
directions come up a lot.
Isn't that bizarre?
Getting lost everywhere
yeah,
comes
apparently
up
it's a
a
left
lot.
brain thing.
Yeah.
Which is where your creativity is.
Which you would think that we would be better at, because if you live your life going into the same office every day, there's not many corners of your life where you're having to like go out of your way to find new locations.
That's
but
it.
for us, that's all we do.
Unreal.
Every night is somewhere different.
Yeah.
Every having to like travel and land in a different city and figure out where the ecom is, and
it
then
took me
figure out
ages
where the
to
venue
figure out
is.
where catfish is. Yeah. I'm like, what? But even
Yep.
with Good Chat in Brisbane, I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean it's down below a pub?
Yeah,
Oh, so
yeah.
this is the address.
Well, that kills
Where's
you
the
when
club?
I mean, this is so behind the curtain, but when the club is called something, but then the club is like when the club is inside a different venue that doesn't have that name.
couldn't figure it
and
out.
so therefore the place that you're going is not on Google Maps. That
That's
that
right.
is unnecessary. That's unfair. But tell me about you got lost in Amsterdam.
Yes, I got so horribly lost in Amsterdam because I don't know the landmarks, right?
Yep.
And it was the day after Orange Day, so it was just everyone was messy.
Oh, okay.
right?
What's Orange Day? Is that like
It's
a public
the
holiday?
it's a big celebration for
Okay.
the Queen's
Right.
birthday,
Right.
and orange is the colour of Holland or something.
Right.
Anyway, I'm just like, I give up. I'm just going to go and have a nice coffee somewhere, a coffee shop.
Yep.
Me being bit didn't know that meant other things.
God, I love coffee here. People say that Melbourne's into it, but man, we got nothing on these guys.
This gorgeous guy, he said, why don't you just try some cake,
Yep.
some special cake,
Yep.
right? I actually did have a coffee, but it was a filter coffee.
Yep.
And so I did that, and then I was
But
just
you knew
like,
what was in it? Or you
I knew
didn't?
what was in it. It was
Okay,
hash.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Hash cake.
Yeah.
I was off my fucking dial. I was actually walking sideways.
Yeah.
And then I found this this bar, but it was a private party going on, and they had karaoke, and I'm just like, this is all meant to be.
No, I couldn't. I'm too shy.
All meant to be. I was on the bar. They were going, sing another one. You know, they could hardly understand me as
Yep,
well.
yep.
And they were so gorgeous. And then I explained I didn't know how to get to my comm. My friend was out and about doing something else. I didn't even think to ring her. I was so stoned.
Yep.
And anyway, I told them the comm. I could remember it. And so she walked me back to the comm with her German Shepherd, which was only supposedly 5 minutes away. It took us an hour and a half because we had to stop because we were laughing so much. We were actually laying in the street with our legs up in the air, rolling around laughing. And this was just me doing silly sounds, silly voices.
And this is all just from one bit of cake.
One bit of cake.
I've never been to Amsterdam, and I don't know.
I could live there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the thing of everyone, obviously the cliche, you go and weed's legal and it's so easy to get. I feel like that would be...
But the locals hate it.
Yeah,
they hate all that tourism.
I bet. I've just never been... That like weed has just never really agreed with me.
No.
So the idea of being there with people that want to do that, and that's kind of like the whole reason to be there, and being in another city and walking around and feeling like that, but I just can't.
It's
think
not
of
actually
anything
like
worse.
that. There's the red light district.
Yep.
And then there's the coffee shops and whatever, but it's not all like that. It's absolutely the most brilliant city. I mean, just to be in the canals and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, and the pubs and the bars and the restaurants. You just got to go and go to Belgium as well.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really done much of Europe at all.
You just get on a train and go to Belgium.
Yeah. Have you gotten lost in any other big cities?
I get lost in Chadstone.
Well, shopping centres are. I think that they're designed in a way to keep you circling.
But I'll go to the toilet at Chadstone and then I can't remember where I have to go when I get out of the toilet.
Yeah.
I cannot, because I'm not that kind of shopper. I haven't bought retail in 30 years.
Yeah.
I'll buy undies, towels, maybe tea towels, but I do not go to those places. But I had to go a few times with my daughter, because they couldn't go on their own.
Yep.
But I cannot stand it. So what I do now is I just stay outside of Chadstone.
Yeah.
In a cafe, wherever, outside, so I don't have to be in.
You sit at that Macca's that's like a block away.
I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
The lights, the sounds. I feel trapped.
Chadstone was like ground zero for me when I was in high school. School holidays.
Yeah.
Had the bowling alley, had the cinema, had the food court. My best friend lived like a couple of blocks away, and it was
where to go.
So much of my childhood. Just when it was that easy to entertain yourself when you're a kid, you're like, we'll just go to a shopping.
Go to Chatty.
We have no money to buy anything in the shopping centre. We'll just walk around and look at all the different shops.
You could take our machete.
Yeah. I bought my fiance's engagement ring in a shopping centre at Doncaster Shopping Town, just because I had found this specific ring, had looked up, that's where it was. So I was like, well, that's where I'm going. This feels incredibly unromantic part of the process to be buying this in a shopping centre. But hey, that's just where the store is. And then, got lost in the shopping centre and was like, I'm going to die in here. I'm going to die in here having never proposed to this woman.
Yeah.
They're going to find my corpse with an engagement, like the ultimate tragedy. Just, oh, wow, he was... And that's the way she's going to find out that's what I was planning to do. So she's going to read this on the news.
Oh, comedians, the way our mind works. I love it.
Yeah, in my head, this will make the news. Me passing out in the middle of a shopping centre.
That's hilarious. But I can't even read maps. Like, I can't even go up to, on the Chadstone, info board or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't even understand that. You were here. Yeah, but where is that?
Those ones they are the worst. I was thinking this the other day. I'm so glad that there wasn't much of my life where I was an adult and had a license and was driving around before the advent of Google Maps. I really don't know how people, like the concept of looking somewhere up in the Melways, committing that to memory and then getting in the car.
Unbelievable.
A non-starter for me. I just don't know how I ever would have managed to do that.
Well, I don't drive. I've never driven in my life. And I can't read maps very well at all. So, for me to have to go to an audition, say if it was at 2:00, I would set out at midday.
Yeah.
Because I would get so incredibly lost and flustered. Mm-hmm. I'd have to stop at a cafe, reconfigure, the whole bit. I've absolutely got no inner compass whatsoever.
Yeah.
The only way that I know my way around the city is through obvious landmarks.
Yes.
Flinders Street Station.
Yes.
I know where that is.
Okay, that's good. That's a good start.
Fed Square.
Yeah.
I know where that is.
Well, it's across the road from Flinders Street Station. Yeah, I tell myself that I'm better because of having, Google Maps and directions. But even then, we'll be in the car and it'll be like, turn left here, and I'll just ignore it. And Lauren's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, nah, I don't know. I just don't really.
Doesn't feel right.
I just don't really trust it. Yeah, exactly. Something about this doesn't feel right. And then there's been times when
turn left here.
Yeah. There's been times when I've somehow put our address in wrong. Like we were coming back from the airport, and we live in Fitzroy, and it was taking us through Mooney Ponds, and we were like, this is a weird way to go from the airport. And then I zoom the map out, and it's that there's an identical street name of ours in a suburb that's way the fuck out.
Yeah.
That for some reason, in spite of me typing in the address for our house hundreds of times, it's just thrown up as the first result.
Unreal.
What about this one? And I've just hit it out of instinct. And Lauren's like, how have you fucked up typing in your own address?
I know.
And it's an automated thing that's telling you where to go.
Yeah.
How have you gotten it so wrong? You wouldn't get it this wrong if you were just going on instinct.
I've got an example just the other day when I was in Brisbane doing Good Chat.
Yep.
I knew that there was Lune Croissanterie.
Yes.
Which I've been desperate to try because I watched all about her on Australian Story, Kate Reid.
Yep.
And I'm such a foodie, right? So I'm just like, I wonder where it is. And ends up, it is across a street and down another street from where I'm staying.
Right. In Brisbane, there's two of them here.
I know, but
why were you I have to wait until I go to Brisbane to be able to get this?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I was determined to go, right?
Okay.
So I put it in Google Maps, and I have started walking in the wrong direction.
Yep.
And it was only because on the map it's got the little, the little light, it looks like a torch saying,
yeah,
you're going that way.
Yeah.
I'm going, I have to go that way.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right to me.
Well, you're in Brisbane and it's directing you to the one in Melbourne because that's where it is. No wonder it was taking you so long to walk to.
I finally found it, but it took me an extra 15 minutes
Yeah.
to get there.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it was worth it though.
Oh, that was going to be my question. Yeah, you rated
Absolutely
it?
unbelievable.
How long had you been coveting this croissant for?
Couple of years.
It does feel good when there's a restaurant or something that keeps coming up and then you finally have it. And the stress of this has got a lot to live up to.
Exactly. But seeing it on Australian Story,
oh yeah,
absolutely, I just went right.
Yeah, that's where I get all my food recommendations from. Australian Story. Well, Bev, thank you for joining me. Everyone should come and check out your show at Comedy Republic in Melbourne if they're in Melbourne. But
yes, November the 14th.
November the 14th.
6:30.
Follow Bev on the socials. You're always touring around.
Always
you will not be disappointed. And you might be surrounded by UFC enthusiasts.
And I might even do a wee on the street.
Hey, that's a hell of a way to finish the show. Like those, there's always every couple of years there'll be someone whose festival show is consistently running over time.
Yeah.
And then they're doing the end of the show out in the alleyway. They do an extra 10 minutes of material out in the street. That's you, but it's just public urination. No material, just having a slash.
Everyone can join in.
Yeah, everyone can join in. Yeah, it can be the new flash mob. Yeah. Splash mob. Yuck. I hate it. There you go, folks. The legend that is Bev Killick. Hope you didn't mind me going a bit inside baseball on the origins of her career and the origins of her relationship and how intertwined they are. Loved that chat with Bev. And yes, if you are in Melbourne and you're listening to this hot off the presses, go and catch her solo show at Comedy Republic this Friday night. Otherwise, you can follow her online, catch her all around the country. Also, as I mentioned up the top of the show, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/howtodoeverything. Bonus episodes always coming out on there. This Friday is the second part of a two-part episode that I did with Brett Blake and Bron Lewis, where we talk about Bev, and that's kind of what inspired me to ask her to do the show. So you can check that out. Heaps of great guests and great content on there, and greatly appreciate the support from everyone that is on there. Send me a message at How to Do Everything Podcast on Instagram. Like the show on there, send me a message, give the show a good review on your podcast app of choice. Guys, I'm doing this on Friday afternoon. I'm quite knackered after a busy week. I'm ready for a knockoff drink, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks, guys, for listening, and I will see you next time for more How to Do Everything. Bye.